There's a dance that's in your children. You've given us the rhythm. Now we're stirring up the heavens. Bring the rain.
We went to the first time I've ever been to the Feast of Tabernacles, to a celebration. And I must admit, I was quite intrigued. I was a little bit, but I was quite intrigued. And it was very, very good. I really enjoyed it. I loved the explanation that they gave that it's part of this harvest kind of festival thing where they kind of celebrated in ancient Israel, and still do today actually, of the ingathering of the harvest festival. Kind of lost that a little bit in the UK, a little bit, but I just love that whole thing. And as I was explaining it, I was kind of just starting to think about this story that Jesus told in Matthew chapter 13, verse 1 to 9, about the parable of the farmer, the parable of the sower. And I just want to kind of unpack that a little bit this morning and just get some little lessons out of that. Because it's a fantastic story. It's one of the famous stories that kind of, even if you don't go to church, most people know about this parable of the sower. It's a great story. And in this parable, Jesus has got, he mentions four different things. He mentions the seed, which is God's word. God's word. Which is packed up in this little package, but once it kind of goes into your life, it just changes your life. God's seed. And then he speaks about the soil, different kinds of soil in this different parable. And I kind of like how he's kind of made people into soil, because people have got a little bit dirty kind of lives, but yet they're full of potential. And I kind of like that kind of stuff. And so he compares people to different kinds of soil types in the Bible. And then he goes on and he explains about the different kind of stuff in this world that affects the seed in the soil. The stuff in this world that affects the seed in the soil. And he goes on and explains about weeds, how there's different weeds and birds and stones and sun and all that kind of manner of stuff. It has a massive impact on how that little seed can do in the soil. And so I just wanted to think about that, because it affects everyone here. If you don't believe in Jesus, this affects you. If you have accepted Jesus in your life, it affects you. If you've been on the road for a long, long time, and you've been living a Christian life for even 20, 30, 40, 50 years, this story still affects you. And so it can really impact our lives. And so the four different types of soil is, the first one that Jesus mentions is that he says soil is made into a path. Soil made into a path. And Jesus explains that the farmer was going about and he was doing his sowing thing, and which my wife told him was broadcasting the seed. So he was broadcasting the seed. And some of this little seed landed in this bit of soil that was a path. And because it landed in the path, the birds came down and started to eat the seed, and so it didn't have any effect. The seed was lost. And he went on to explain to the disciples, that's like, the soil's like someone's life. And it's become hard. And the seed's been thrown on, and then the birds that came down, which he says is Satan and the devil, and it snatched away that seed. And it's had no effect. And I guess, we all know people like that. And we've all been there, I guess, sometimes. Where we've maybe sit in church, or we've watched something on, or we've heard something about the Bible, and it's had no effect on our lives. I came from a very traditional Scottish village, and I went to church every Sunday, twice, actually 3 times a Sunday, when I was young. And it was 18 years before I became a Christian. It had no effect on me. And that's because my life was like a path, compacted, knocked down. And you've got to say, why does people become like that? I mean, were they born that way? Were you born a path? You weren't, were you? We're all born the same. All born exactly the same. And yet, through our life, somehow, I don't know how it happens, but somehow through the knocks in life, or people standing over you, or people compacting you, or the pressures in life, or more, whatever it is, pressures in work, peer pressure, whatever it is, somehow our soil in our life gets compacted down and we get this kind of hard exterior, become a little bit cynical. Who's ever became a little bit cynical? I became cynical. Okay, just me. I'm the only person who became cynical, and I'm actually very cynical that you're not cynical. Okay? So you become a bit cynical, and just nothing is going to affect me. I'm going to church, but it's not going to affect me. I'll listen to the preach, but it's not going to affect me. I'm going to go to the worship, and I'm going to sit there, and it's not going to affect me. You've got this hard exterior. And the way that God often breaks soil that's made into paths, is by love. He breaks it by love. You know, when I was about a young teenager, there used to be this story, quite a famous story called the Cross and Switchblade. Who remembers that? Yeah. Okay. Yeah, it's a good one, isn't it? Nicky Cruz. Loved him. I actually had a leather jacket like Nicky Cruz. Right? And Nicky Cruz, he was a tough guy, and he was a gangland guy. And nothing was going to affect him. And there was this guy, David Wilkinson. He really had a heart one day. God gave him a heart to reach these New York kind of drug guys. And he kept on ministering to Nicky Cruz, and Nicky Cruz was having nothing of it. And one time he says to David, if you come near me, I'm going to cut you in 1,000 pieces. Cross the switchblade. You know what David Wilkinson says? Yeah, you can do that. But every piece will still love you. It broke him. This guy whose life had become soil that had become a path was broken with love. And it had a massive impact on his life. Love can break. And you know, if you're in a relationship with or you know someone that's not non-Christian, you know the worst thing you can do is hammer into them. The best thing you can do is just love them. Be normal. Just love them. Soil that's made into a path. And then Jesus speaks about a different kind of soil. And this time, it's soil with stones in it. And Jesus says that in verse 5. He says, the seed fell in rocky places where it didn't have much soil. It sprung up quickly because the soil was shallow. But when the sun came up, the plants were scorched and they withered because they had no roots. Now, if you've been out for a drive, or if you like hill walking, or if you like countryside, or anything like that, you notice when you look at the countryside, everything looks beautiful, doesn't it? Until you actually go into the field and then you notice, there's a lot of rocks here. And that's what Jesus is speaking about. He's speaking about people that everything looks beautiful on the outside. From a distance, they look good. They may be all shiny, maybe all nicely dressed, they've got it all together. They speak the good, they talk the talk, but they just don't kind of walk the walk. You know the kind of people. Who knows that kind of people? Yeah, you know that kind of people. And they've got it, and the outside, they're different from people with it, like it's made apart. Because their problem is not a hard surface, their problem is under the surface. Their problem is that they have stones in their life. So they've got lots of potential, things spring up, they maybe come to church, and they get involved and everything, so, oh man, that's a great person. But all of a sudden they just drift away, because they've got stones in their life. Stones in their life. And the root can't kind of get in there and kind of build a strong foundation. Stones in their life. Secret sin that they've kind of kept under wraps. No one knows about it. We've all been there, eh? Personal agendas, attitudes that's kind of wrong, stones in their life. Everything's show, everything's superficial. People are so taken in with first impressions. You go to Facebook and they've got like thousands of likes and you think, man, they must be really popular. You don't know what's going on in their life, do you? Because they've got stones in their life. But the thing is, God is not interested in what you look like. He's interested in the roots in your life. He's interested in how deep your faith is. He's interested in how mature you are. That when it knocks in life come, when you're sick, you know, we've been praying for sickness. There's people that have been sick this morning. When sickness comes, it doesn't knock you and think, well, I'm not having anything to do with God. I know God loves me. I can't understand it. Yes, this is hard, but I know that you are Jehovah, that heals me, that can sustain me, because I've got deep roots in the faith. But soil, the soil with stones in it, is not like that. It's shallow, people. And when the sun comes up or the wind comes up, it just withers away. And how to handle people like that? What God needs to do with you and me if we're like that is, He needs to humble us. He needs to humble us. And God can humble us in so many different ways. It can be sickness. I'm not saying sickness is awful, but it could be something that just rocks your world. You think, man, I can't do it, Lord, I need your help. And when you ask God, God, I need your help, then God can do something in your life, because you're down in your knees and you can pick up the rocks in your life. One by one, just picking up the rocks in your life and saying, God, that wasn't a good thing in my life, I put that away. And if you constantly do that in your life, then your roots, the word that goes into your life will go deep, and you'll be a mature Christian. Soil that's made into pots. Soil that's made, soil with stones in it. And then he spoke about a third one. He spoke about soil with weeds in it. And it says, this was people that the world went into their life, and it sprung up, but things in their life kind of just choked that seed, and made it unproductive. When I was in Scotland, we lived next to a field beside us, and there was this farmer. He was a good farmer called Albert, and he had a big farm, lots of machinery. And he was walking through the field one day, kind of picking things up. I thought, man, what's he doing? And so I thought I'd go and speak to him. And I said to him, hey Albert, what are you doing? He says, you've heard of wild oats. Who's heard of wild oats? Sowing wild oats, yeah? He says, he gave me a little lesson, very interesting. He says, this is wild oats. I said, yeah, but what do you do? Well, if I don't go through the field, just picking this wild oats out, it's going to spread over and reduce my yield. I thought, that's fantastic. That's what Jesus is speaking about. Wild oats in our lives. Wild oats. And what we need to do, or what God needs to do to us and teach us, is we need to focus. There's no machine goes through and just takes out I think I'm right saying that, Deb's on that. Oh, there you go. So there's no machine goes through and just strips it out. You've just got to focus, taking out weeds out, just one at a time. One at a time. I love Greek stories. I love history, and I love Greek stories. Because the reality is, we just make the same mistakes over and over again. So I think, I might as well learn what other people did. So I love Greek stories. And there's this one story that I love. And it was about this beautiful girl called Atlanta. Nice name, huh? Beautiful girl called Atlanta. And everyone wanted to marry her. I'm looking at you, Lindsay, because you're not beautiful, you're not called Atlanta. But everyone wanted to marry her. But the problem was, like all beautiful girls, she could run fast and no one could catch her. But she had an attitude problem. And she thought, well, no one's ever going to catch me. So what she said is, okay guys, I'm going to have a race. And whoever wins that race against me is going to marry me. Good one, eh? And so there's this guy called Hippo. Guess he's big. And so this guy called Hippo. And I love this story because it's actually how I won my wife. So there's this, and he was very smart. And what he did is, he got 3 apples made of gold. This is gold and delicious, by the way. But real gold. And he was very good at it. Through the race, as Atlanta was kind of catching up, and he used to roll these apples in front of her. And Atlanta used to go down and pick up this apple, and she would catch him again, and Hippo was kind of going here. He was having a heart attack. And then he would take another apple, and she was just he would roll up, and she was picking it up again. And then he was always catching, and then he would roll another apple, and she would pick it up again. And what she didn't realize is she was getting weighed down, and they were getting closer to the finishing line. And Hippo, hallelujah, Hippo won the race in a married Atlanta. Good story? Who likes that story? Good story. You know what's a good story? Because we're all in that race. It's a spiritual race. We are running for the line, eh? God, I want to serve you. The devil can't beat us, can he? You heard about that? He can't beat us, we're victors. But what he can't do is spoil your race. And he does it by taking apples and just rolls it in front of us. Every time. Every time. You know the apples in your life. Facebook, no, not Facebook. But, no, you know the apples in your life. Don't you? Gold, finance, girls, popularity, guys, all that stuff. And the devil knows that if he just kind of rolls it in your way, it's going to spoil your race. It's going to spoil your race. It's going to choke you. If you build your life in that stuff, it's going to choke you. You're not going to be fruitful. You're not going to be productive. And we need to focus. The Bible says what we need to do is remember. It says in Hebrews chapter 11, remember you're surrounded by a great cloud of witnesses. And you're running this race like a clappers, aren't you? And he says, he gives you a great bit of advice. He says, what you need to do is you focus your eyes on Jesus. Don't get distracted with all that stuff. It is stuff. You know when you know it's stuff? When you move house and you realise, where's all this stuff came from? And then we do it again. It's stuff. It doesn't mean anything. Does it? Focus your eyes on Jesus. Just keep on running that race. And then lastly, he speaks about soil that's good. It's you and me, yeah? Isn't it? Oh, man. I was hoping for a better answer there. It's you and me, isn't it? Yeah. Soil is good. And the challenge for you and me is to become soil that produces more. Jesus says the good soil produces 30%, 60%, 90%. More and more and more. That's a challenge. And so he gives us three little things, just three little things. He says that if we're going to produce more, he says if you're going to produce more, you need to become more broken. You need to become more broken. I have noticed in ministry, I've noticed in just life, just generally, that the more you try and help people, the more people try and just life just kind of tramples you down. And the temptation is to say, well, I've done enough, I'm producing 30%, stuff everyone else, I've done my bit, just me and Jesus from now on. And if that's you, you need to become more broken. More broken. And that's why I love this little story about Bob Pierce, the founder of World Vision. He went to North Korea, he was ministering to people, but he thought, I need to do more. And he saw the young kids that were starving. And he wrote this verse. Love this verse. It's actually one of the bridges in Hosanna. He wrote this verse in his Bible. Lord, break my heart for what breaks yours. And it kicked off helping thousands and thousands and thousands of kids because he became more broken. And so the challenge for you and me is that if you love the Lord, you need to become more broken. More broken. Can the worship band come up, please? And then the second thing is if we're going to go from 30 to 60% productive, we need to become more humble. You know, we've got a garden. Naomi will tell you, I am not a very good gardener. But one thing that amazes me is that whenever I pick up rocks, I think maybe the neighbour's throwing rocks into my garden. Yeah? Who's ever been there? Because where do they come from? You pick up rocks and you think, I've done it, and then next to you there's more rocks. Now, we've got good neighbours, I'm sure it's not them. They come up, don't they? Rocks are constantly going to come up in your life. new agendas, new secret sins, new things that you think are hidden. And if you don't constantly be more humble and pick up those rocks, you're going to not become any more productive. That wasn't very good English, by the way. But you're going to become, if you're going to become more productive, you need to constantly pick up rocks in your life. Rocks in your life like seeking title, looking for praise, serving the church, and well, no one recognizes what you do. That doesn't matter, guys. All that matters is God sees what you do. That's all that matters. And so if you're going to go from 30 to 60%, you need to become more humble. You and I need to do that. And then, lastly, if we're going to become more productive, we need to become more focused. Apostle Paul was a great man of the Lord. A pioneer. One of my heroes. You know what he wrote? He wrote, not that I've already obtained it. I thought he had. Not that I've already obtained it, or that I've already made perfect. But what I do is this one thing. I press on. I press on to take hold of that which Christ has taken hold of me. And one thing I do, I forget what's going behind. And I press on towards the goal for which Christ Jesus has called me. More focused. As you go in life, you will have more and more people offering you to do things. But you need to become more focused. There's a difference between good things and God things, isn't there? You ask the Lord, what do you want me to do? That's so important. And then we'll finish off with this little thing, When you go from 30% to 60%, you can relax, can't you? Can't you? No, you can't. Because God's not content with that. God wants you to go from 30% to 60% to 90%. He wants you to become totally broken. Totally broken. Totally humble. Totally focused. Totally like Jesus. That's what Jesus was like, wasn't he? He was the most productive man that ever lived. And so that's the kind of thoughts that I've had, and it affects everyone here. Every one of us here are different types of soil. You've maybe come here this morning, when we had a prayer time this morning, I had one request. Well, actually, I had two. I squeezed it in a little because I was a little bit greedy. But I had one real request. And that would be that today, something that would be said, something that would be sung, would go into someone's heart, and new life would burst forth. Maybe it's you. If it's you. Maybe it's you. Can we all stand? The band's going to play. And can we bow our heads? And I just want to make an appeal. It just feels too good a chance to opportunity. We pray for things, but we've also to seek it. So as everyone's head is bowed, can I ask you, is there anyone here for the first time feels the seed of God's word has landed in their life, and they'd like to ask God to make that grow in their life, and become a Christian, new life? Anyone here? For those that believe, we're going to have a time of prayer over in the corner here, just over there, inside the prayer room. If you know that this is maybe spoken to you, maybe you're like soil that's going to become all hard and cynical and kind of just nothing's going to affect me, but you're unproductive. Can you come over there and we'd love to pray for you? Maybe it's you have people that's thinking, well, I've got secret sins in my life. Hey, this spoke to me. You know, I've got things in my life that I need to pick up if I'm going to be what God wants me to be. Could you come over and we just love to pray for you? Maybe you're people that's got weeds in your life, things that are coming and just choking the life. You know, you're trying your best, you're reaching up for the sun, and you're just trying your best, but just these things are just going round about your life, and you just can't seem to break free of them. Well, I want to tell you this morning that Jesus is here to set the captives free. He's here to kind of break all chains. He's here to release you this morning. But you need to come and ask Him. You need to come and ask Him. And so as the band plays, you come and ask for prayer. You know, we believe in prayer. God is a prayer answering God. He says in His Bible that He's a good Father, and what good Father doesn't come and give good gifts to His children who ask? And so we never want to leave you in limbo. We always want to give you an opportunity to leave here with a new and more productive life. Amen?
There's a dance that's in your chest. You've given us the rhythm. Now we're stirring up the head.